Guys, we have Peter Paul Mon with us today, and he is an Intellivy marketing specialist. And I know you're probably wondering, what does all of this have to do with us? What's Intellivy? How are we using A/B testing? What is A/B testing? Some of you are wondering. So, Peter Paul and I are going to take some time today and walk you through some testing that we've done that I think is going to be really exciting. And I think you guys are going to love it. Plus, it's data that you can utilize in your business to make better choices and to make more money. But first, Peter Paul, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much, Liz. Yeah, it's nice to be here. Well, I'm still at home, of course, but
Yeah. It's
it's
the
great to.
beauty of the internet, right? We can be
Yeah,
here together and also at home.
exactly, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, will you tell us a little bit about Intellivy and what you do, and also a little bit about your background in the space?
So, in what order? Shall we start with the background?
Perfect.
Good. Okay. So, well, my name is Peter Paul. You already said that, and I'm in what is it, over 25, maybe even over 30 years in marketing and sales. So, my background is really sales from door to door and cold calling, everything. So, I learned a lot about consumer behavior, I think, and how to win, but also how to lose. Because you learn from those things. And in 2008, I started my own marketing agency. Um, I do not have it anymore. So now I'm part of Intellivy. I'm part of this company. We started as an Amazon seller in 2014. In fact, I'm not the owner, but that is Mel's. He's our founder and owner. And I'm so happy to be part of it since that day because, yeah, I'm doing what I like to do, and that is focusing on consumer behavior and indeed via A/B testing. So I'm doing that almost every day, eh, unless it's Saturday or Sunday. I'm not thinking about it, but all the other days I do.
Mhm.
And just, yeah, learn from how do people respond to a specific text, or how do people respond to specific images, and see, like, well, what do they like and what do they dislike and what is the reason behind it, and then based on that data, based on those insights, you can optimize images, Amazon listings. I really understand like how to do it, and I just love it. So it's very nice.
Amazing. For the people joining us that are maybe not familiar with A/B testing, can you tell us a little bit about what it is, and then how Intellivy kind of like had started incorporating that initially for the seller, and now we're going to talk about for the influencer.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure. We should use ChatGPT to see the truth about it, but I think that it all started split testing probably in the Google Ads space.
Uh-huh.
So for Google Ads, you can create an advertisement and you can just figure out which one works better, version
Mhm.
A versus B. And that also depends on the segmentation and the audience, so everything that you're doing. So it's kind of related to how you pinpoint to a specific group of people, but also how do people respond to that. So you can do a split test, and based on, let's say, a period of a few days, just figure out which one is getting most clicks. Now, what
Yeah.
we do with Intellivy is much quicker. We simulate it completely. So we simulate it by just saying, like, we have an Amazon listing, and that Amazon listing has a hero image. That's how we call that. So that's the main image of the listing with a title. And just showing that up against relevant competitors, like a consumer would see it and then ask a group of consumers, also segmented, so related to that product that they probably might buy. It's all simulated. And we just ask them, hey, which one would you buy and why? And which
Mhm.
one would you never buy and why? So then you get the positive feedback and negative feedback. So you learn from objections, you learn from the strength, and within everything, it's kind of like a very quick SWOT analysis. If you don't know what it is, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, you just bring it all in there. And from there, you can just optimize the image because you learn what people like.
Yeah. It's really interesting because you and I met obviously in the seller space and at a show in New York 3 years ago. We were just talking
Yeah.
about this before we started. And it's really fascinating because when you look at like the buyer behavior and you realize that like every detail of what shows up on the product listing or wherever your content is, like can make a big impact on sales, on views, on conversions, you start to be able to really like fine tune like what you're presenting for the product. And so being able to know that like the hero image for a product listing, split testing, does image A or image B pull more people into the product listing to, convert them to sales? That's really like solid data that people can use.
And that's exactly it. And
Mhm.
that's what we are providing for a
Mhm.
couple of years now. And
Yeah.
many Amazon sellers, and we are also expanding. So it's not just Amazon, it's also Walmart,
Mhm.
Shopify, Google Ads. We are also expanding to Kaufland in Germany, and in the Netherlands we have bol.com. So like all those marketplaces. But even if you want to test a logo, so
Yeah.
if you come up with a new logo and you figure out, like, I'm just wondering, like, if I'm bringing this type of brand to the market,
Yeah.
you have to explain what it is and what it does, and then show the logo and ask like this one or versus the other one, or even we are saying A versus B, but it's much more than that. You can also
Yeah.
do A versus B versus C versus D. So
Yeah.
whatever you want, or testing packaging,
Mhm.
or testing a model. So
Yeah.
like a person, and today, by the way, it's crazy to do that because you can so quickly create images with AI. So you,
Yep.
if you have an idea in your mind, I'm doing that right now so many times. Like it's crazy. You can just create something and then test it. It's amazing before you go to the design and say like this is the final direction. So it's going to shorten your briefing and
Yep.
make it more practical and quick and easy to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
And that's how you and I got talking, right? So like Intellivy's core offering is obviously seller focused and product and these sorts of things, but you and I were chatting about like uh an issue that a lot of content creators ask me about, which is, do the thumbnails for on-site Amazon influencer videos, do they matter? So we get this question constantly. Do I need thumbnails? If I do thumbnails, should they be really produced or should they be more organic, right? And so you and I actually put together a case study where we could test, and we went not just A/B testing, we went A to F testing for each different
Exactly.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the question that we were trying to answer was, do thumbnails matter? And if they do, what is the best way to optimize those? And so we did this where I pulled a bunch of thumbnails for different products with Amazon influencer videos. And then you took that and you did like a whole case study on it. So can you walk us through how you ran the survey, kind of like start to finish? What does the process look like?
Yeah, you're already telling a lot. So I'm just first thing I just want to say, because it's such a cool idea, I really love it, and it makes sense. I think if the whole point of, and you're much more a specialist on that field, but the whole point of user generated content is to help the consumer
Mhm.
who's at the point of buying a product, to help them, like, hey, here's some content, I can show you how the product works, or if
Yep.
it's comfortable enough, or if it's easy to install. But the thing is, if I'm buying a product, and then not me, but a group of sorry, not respondents, a group of consumers, if
Mhm.
they're buying this type of product, then what matters to them? So
Right.
you need to know that as an influencer, you kind of need to know, because you can say what you think, which is
Mhm.
also very authentic. And I think that's a strong thing to do.
Yep.
But maybe people want to know something else. So then you can pinpoint to that. And that is coming across in that user generated content thumbnail. So that moment. So indeed, let me see if I can show you what we spoke about and
Yeah.
how we got to the test. I think we did it around the yoga mat. Is that
We
correct?
did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was the Amazon Basic that
Yep.
we just
Study
picked
1 was
random.
buying a yoga mat for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
And study 2 was replacing a worn out yoga mat, were the scenarios that you gave to the respondents.
Exactly. Yeah. So, starting a video here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Should be possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you have a listing of a yoga mat. This is the Amazon Basics. And if I'm going to the images, I can also go to video. Most likely, if I'm going to click it right now, it's going to start the video. I will stop it right away. But here on the right side, you see the related videos for this product. So this is the UGC thumbnail that we are speaking about today. And these thumbnails, the question is, which one is it that people like the most, that they probably are going to click? And that all matters, like, is it just the that with the hot yoga mat, or is it the one best exercise mat, that reviews, lane vids, whatever. Or, and that's the other part of UGC thumbnails, down here, you have these videos. And again, you see options. And the question is, which one would people click? Now, we tried to simulate that, and I think it worked quite well. So in our poll platform, we have several polls you can create. And most of them are related to, like marketplace poll, it's all related to the situation of a seller. Like I want to do market research. How do people respond to my products? But a dual comparison poll, for instance, just a simple A versus B, is showing one image versus another. So this can already be one thumbnail up against another thumbnail. What I did is using a ranking comparison where we use several images and ask the respondents, which one would you like? Place them in your favorite order. And that looks like this. So here we have an example of the main image carousel. So that is the first one that I just showed you, the carousel. That's part of the light box on Amazon showing the images and then the videos. And then here you have the thumbnails. So these are the ones. So here you see again just the that, and the other one, everything is in here. And what we do in this process is that we guide respondents, in this case 100% female, because based on research we just know, like most likely a yoga mat is purchased by female. Oh, I did 50-50, by the way. I'm saying it wrong. It's 50% male and 50% female. So this way I can even scan like how do male respond to it and how do female respond to it. So I forgot about that. Sorry for that.
That's okay.
And those 100 respondents, so 50% male, 50% female, between the age of 18 and 60, they are first placed in this situation because it's just random people. And they start a survey and it's like, what is this about? So what we do is we first start by, hey, you've been thinking about adding a yoga to your daily routine for flexibility and relaxation. To get started, you decide to buy a yoga mat that fits your needs. This is the first start. This is before they see the thumbnails. Then we guide them to the question after the situation. So that's what we do first here. And we say, hey, when you read the situation, what should you think is most important to give attention to? And by doing so, you just bring a respondent, like a random person in the situation, as if they're going to buy a yoga mat. They already have something top of mind. So if you go down here, you can see that here someone saying like, I would Google to determine which yoga mat would be the best to use. By the way, this is already interesting because this is related to UGC.
Right.
It's related. Then here, I would go for a brand that is soft and fit. Now here you have something. So if many people are going to say like it has, I would go for a brand that's soft and fit, and your UGC thumbnail, what a word is that? Can we do something else? Your thumbnail, so you're the one that you've created, is telling like it's soft and fit. That's exactly what you need to do. Or what more reasonable price, cute colors, non-slip. So if you show that it's non-slip, again, so this is all telling me something from the situation, just from the shopping scenario. That's all. Then after that, so that's the first step. The following step is, which of these video thumbnails would you click on to help you decide and why? So here you see the question. And then here under it, you get the responses. And you see that just the dad, which makes sense. I'm also dad, so of course he has to win. I think all dads should win, but this dad is winning. And why? That then we have to dive into the insights. So we need to understand like why is that? So and we can just see, because every time people are just giving me an order. So here you see my preferred order is A, E, B, D, C. And the other one is saying A, C, D, A, C, E, D, B. What I want to say, by the way, even if you create this poll, if you do it, we will randomize the order. Always. So it's
Yeah.
not exactly A, B, C, D, E for everybody, because what's might happen is people gonna say like, I picked the first one, then the second, and the third. So
Mhm.
we mix it, because then you get also you see a much better result in the answers. Now that's the first one that we did. I'm gonna dive into the results a bit later. But
Yeah.
the second poll that we did was the other one, and that is the related video short. So that's down the page on Amazon.
Yep.
And again, it starts with a situation. So here you have it again. I changed it a bit. So it has started to wear out. It's peeling, losing grip. So I'm giving more details now. I'm
Yep.
already mentioning like it's peeling in the situation, it's losing grip. So, and this is what you can do if you just know, like from some research, like, ah, yeah, people probably already know this, because there's kind of like an awareness stage of the consumer. So why would you pay attention to showing even more that they already know? That doesn't make any sense. I think as an influencer, you want to mention something that they don't know, and that they
Yep.
are just what they are questioning. So that's what you need to do. So here I'm giving more details: peeling, losing grip, no longer feels comfortable. So again, there's a word around quality of the product itself.
Yep.
Now you decide it's time to replace. So I'm even saying like, you already have a yoga mat.
Mm.
It's going to shift the situation here. And then if you go down again, we will ask, when you read the situation, what should you think is most important to give attention to? And then you get again your answers. So you see durable, comfy, made to last, wear and tear,
Mm.
uh, the material, the durability, all those things matter. Now, and then after that, you get the thumbnails again. We used in this situation 100% female, so that's where I made a
Okay.
mistake in the previous one. So this is the one where we used 100% female,
Mhm.
and then you can see which one do people like. And I think this is a familiar face, is it?
Yeah, that's me.
So yeah, but just a question for you, Liz. So you're in here. So
Mhm.
you are F,
Yeah.
option F. How, what do you think about it if you see this result?
Well, it makes me think like, "Oh, how can I better optimize?" Right? So it's like I've been doing pretty organic thumbnails. I usually ask on mine like a question in the title or a question on the thumbnail that I am answering in the video, right? So like if I'm looking at the written reviews and I see a common thread of questions that people are asking, sometimes I'll put that on the thumbnail, not on this one, or like a feature that I'm talking about. But like looking at hers, it's like, oh, she's got a review. She's got the name of the mat. She's got arrows, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the question is that the reason? Then because of you also gonna see here 80% for C and
Mhm.
24 for A. So based on those insights, you can just discover like, okay, it seems that this theme is much better than what I'm doing right
Yep,
now. So
yep,
that's where you have to dive into the report itself,
yeah,
and then we help you with that. So you have an introduction, and then you get the positive sentiments for all the images. You get the mixed sentiments and the negative sentiments.
mhm,
So it's telling you everything that you need to know, but it brings it together. So the situation insights and the feedback on the items, it's going to help you to determine
yeah,
what is probably better to highlight in that thumbnail.
yeah,
Maybe even the start of your video,
mhm,
because the first 2-3 seconds of a video is already so important to
yep,
get that hook.
yeah,
And now I'm naming something hook, like who's ever thinking about it? Maybe you hear this for the first time. But the hook is the exact thing that people are looking for.
yep,
Like, yes, that's what I want to know.
yep,
And then you got their attention. So yeah,
yeah. We talk a lot about not wasting those first 3 seconds, right? Because people are looking for that immediate, like, kind of grab, whatever's, bringing them into, and that ties back into, like, our very OG, um marketing days, right? It's like, what's when you're writing copy, when you're pushing stuff out, like, what is it that's bringing people in? And in a lot of ways for Amazon influencers, your thumbnail is your hook, right? Because
yeah,
that's what you're grabbing people with to get them to come like watch your video.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the back end of Intellivy and way of like where do you guys get the people who are responding to these?
Yeah, it's random people. So we are tapping into a huge member base. So it's we are in the United States, we are in Mexico, Canada, Japan, UK, Sweden,
Oh, wow.
Italy, so England, everything. So and in total we have 58 million. And
Wow.
it's not that those people are just like actual members. It's not like they're waiting for us. No,
Sure.
that's not it. They probably signed up somewhere during their life,
Yeah.
and they might get an email today if you gonna send a survey. So and then they have to fill it in. So it is that's how it works. It might sound a bit weird, but you have so many deal sites and where people are just member
Yeah.
and they signed up at a certain point. Uh, in some cases, they are filling in details like I'm married, I have children in the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I drive an Audi. All those things are in the database. It's not
Mhm.
ours. It's we are using it, so we are tapping in,
Mm.
and that's how it works.
Okay, that's
Random
really
people.
huh. And it's nice that, because it's kind of like a two-sided marketplace, right? You're looking for people who need to test, and then you're looking for people who want to respond. And so the
Yeah,
fact that you are able to tap into this other database of 58 million people who have opted in somewhere is really nice. Because obviously with 58 million people, like, you've got every demographic across multiple
exactly.
geos, like, that you can reach.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
that's
find quite a lot. So you can of course filter on age, on gender, but you can filter on interest, on hobbies, household size,
yeah.
age of the children, everything. It's in there. It's in there.
That's really nice too, because a lot of times, as this is a little different, but as UGC creators, like when I work with brands, a lot of times they'll come to me and be like, "Hey, I need a person within this demographic, this age range, this, whatever." And sometimes, because I mean, we have a database of 200 creators, and sometimes it's hard to match. We can do it about 98% of the time, find somebody, but having 58 million to be able to like fill in this type of data is pretty stellar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
that's it.
oh, sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and also yeah, the data is so usable because we didn't get to that point. And as a matter of fact, I'm just thinking to do an experiment right now to
Okay.
do something live. Well, live, it's not live, so it's recorded, but I'm just thinking about something because you can use, of course, ChatGPT to analyze the results, and we already did that.
Yeah.
So we both did it back and forth and emailed about it and
Mhm.
discussed the insights. But what is possible with Intellivy is that you download the votes as CSV. So we can just give it a shot. Let's just do it because it's gonna run in the backend, and we can
Yeah.
both see what's going to happen. So we take the shared link of the poll. So that was this one, right?
Yep.
Shared link of the poll. I took it from the poll itself. I drop it in ChatGPT. And then besides that, I also drop in the CSV file, the votes. And what I forgot to do, and now I'm doing it, is run deep research.
Okay.
By doing so, it's going to ask me, are you looking for an analysis? Well, yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am. I'm looking for an analysis, and some. Yeah, it's not hard to do. So that's it.
Yeah.
And it's going to start. Of course, it's going to start, and we can wait for a while, but I will show you what's going to happen. But the end result is probably quite interesting. So and you
Okay.
can do extra steps because once it's done, you can also say like, well, I am an influencer. I want to create a thumbnail.
Mm,
So can you
right.
help me to what should I do? What do you recommend? And it's going to tell me because that's not in our poll insights. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. We just make a poll and we give you insights, but we are not telling you not exact what to do next. So here you
Yeah.
see, based on the feedback, there are several areas where you can improve your product to beat. Now you can already see your product, because we are a marketplace specialist and a marketplace tool, but we are
Yep.
using this poll type right now to enhance. And here you see how to do it. So you get ideas.
Yep. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I-
So here you see the process going, by the way, and then the activity, and then you can also see what it's doing.
Uh-huh.
So here I'm figuring out how people decided on their top video. This includes demographic patterns and scenario reactions. It's so strong. You can just see that an analyst is working here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Consumers often want to see and feel yoga mats in stores, but online convenience and variety are also big draws. You can just see that this is coming from the data.
Yep.
So there you are seeing, I see it like this is so strong, it's so powerful that
Yep.
actual respondents who are placed in the buying scenario of a yoga mat are
Yeah.
coming up with this stuff. And while ChatGPT is analyzing it, it's just doing the same thing that I would do for a day if I'm reading
Right.
all the insights. But
Yeah.
it's doing it so quickly for me now by just scanning the page. It's
Yeah.
not doing nothing more than scanning the page and reading it.
Yep.
It's reading here the order and everything. It's understanding that there's a poll that's ranking. It's understanding that there's a question here. It's understanding the demographics, everything. It's
Yeah.
following the route, how we've created it, which I find pretty amazing that it's also working from this side. Because we didn't train ChatGPT what Intellivy is.
Right.
We didn't. And I didn't
Mm-mm.
train it. There's nothing. So then here, most respondents were clearly into the yoga routine, which, well, of course, they're interested 4 or 5. So that interest is probably coming from um, this part here,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because we have a situation score. So that means by starting this also, by the way, psychology. This is like consumer behavior and how
Yeah.
we behave. You
Yep.
and I, same. If I'm reading something, I'm asking you, how clear is this? Most likely, you're gonna read it again.
Yes. Yeah.
And
It's
that's the whole
true.
point. It's nothing more than that simple step to bring that person, that random person, in the position of, hey, you are in a situation right now to buy a yoga mat.
Yep.
And that's nice.
You know what's interesting to me too is like, so if I was sitting down and analyzing the results, like for the day or whatever, I still bring in my presuppositions into how I'm reading the results, right? Whereas like chat obviously is a lot more neutral and is literally just analyzing the data portion of it, as opposed to like I come into it with like, I mean, I'm a little bit biased and I think that like the thumbnails that are more authentic but answer a question are going to do better, right? Whereas like, so then if I'm reading the data from that perspective, I'm probably going to skew it a little bit to the direction that like I am thinking, whereas like chat's going through it and is going to come back with like,
True.
you
Yeah,
know,
I agree. I do want to say that what you're doing and how you're describing it is also a very strong starting point, because
yes,
I call that testing a hypothesis
yep,
or testing an assumption. If most likely, I think if you're doing UGC videos,
yep,
I hope you are doing it because you like the type of product. If you
yeah,
just do it random, then you definitely need research, because otherwise you're not passionate enough about it, or people might see that you're just doing it for I don't know what.
yep,
So I think you have to be authentic.
yep,
For me, if I would do something, I would do it probably car related. I'm
yep,
really a car guy. I love
okay,
it. But then if I would do something for, let's say, a phone mount, um, I think that I would do something around, does it rattle?
right,
Or so if it's mounted to the dashboard, does it rattle? Because if I buy a new car, I don't want to have any rattles. In
right,
fact, if I have a rattle, I can leave the car at the dealer and never pick it up anymore.
yeah,
And if someone is saying like, "Yeah, I drove around with it, but hear nothing," then well, watch it, because I might. Well, I'm not going to finish that, but the thing is that is my assumption. So if I'm
yeah,
creating a thumbnail and I'm bringing in there in the first image like no rattles, like big wording, no rattles, and then I do a test in Intellivy, I can simply check in the insights by
yep,
typing it, I can type it in there, so I can type in rattles because that's the assumption, that's the hypothesis that I have. And if
Yep.
nobody's noticing that, then to me it's like, oh shit,
Yeah. Yeah. You're
doing
like,
something
oh,
here now that's totally Peter Paul, and it seems not interesting enough for the rest of the world. So hey,
right.
now, so that's the other part. So I think you're right. It's very
Yeah.
nice to have a very objective approach and very neutral
Yep.
from ChatGPT, which is already, by the way, the basics of the Intellivy poll. It's
Hmm.
neutral. People are just going to say what they don't like and like,
Yeah.
but you need
I
assumptions. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think especially because you draw from like such a huge base of people, like
Yeah.
that there I would imagine that there's less opportunity for people to kind of like if you had 10,000 people who are on your platform all the time, I kind of imagine that at some point they would almost be too knowledgeable about like what you're looking for to give as neutral feedback as you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think this applies to all kind of products. So I was working on Flaxseed, like a boring Flaxseed. But if you have to make a video about Flaxseed, I hope you know what I'm talking about. Do you?
I don't.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
I was already afraid that I'm going to come up with an example that nobody knows. Like, what the heck? Um, going
It's
to
okay.
show you.
People are Googling it while we're talking.
Yeah. No, no, I know. I know. I don't even know if there's anything about. Wait. So I'm saying Flaxseed, Flax seed.
Yes. Okay. I do.
Yeah, it's a very
Yep.
boring product,
Yeah.
and it seems that people are buying it. So we did some research around this product.
Yeah.
It seems that the nutty flavor and or the taste or the texture, or that it's easy to add to yogurt, that's
Yes.
important. Now, is there any user-generated content videos? No, not on the. Oh, there's no gallery, by the way, on this product. I don't see it.
Yeah. That's so there's two reasons for that. One is if the brand is not brand registered and they haven't uploaded a product video. But the other possibility is food and then like clothing, jewelry, and accessories. Sometimes they will, the clothing, accessories, fashion, they never have an upper gallery. They only have the lower gallery.
Okay.
Food, it kind of depends on if it's coming from Amazon Fresh or it's shipping through like the actual Amazon FBA third part like fulfillment. Um, Sometimes that matters based on how their product listing is set up. But my guess is for the flaxseed that you're currently looking at, it's most likely that even if they're brand registered, that they haven't optimized their product listing and they haven't added a product video.
And that's true, I think. I'm not sure. So I do. Let me see. Go top of page. So you're so there's is there a product video? No, there's not.
Mm-mm.
So you're bringing some knowledge in here. That's great. Didn't
Yeah.
know that. Didn't know that. But there are some videos down here for the flaxseed. And as mentioned, I know from research that taste and texture is important. Now I do see here, like the second one is saying tastes good, but
Yep.
the thumbnail itself, it's not doing much.
So that's actually a customer review as opposed to
This is
being an
customer review.
Amazon influencer. So Amazon has actually sorted them. See how it says customer review at the beginning of those two, the second
Yeah,
and third one on that, and then the
yeah,
ones around it. Um, yep. So the first one there is an Amazon influencer. The second and third are customers, and the third one looks
yeah.
like an Amazon influencer as well.
Yeah, I
Or the
see it. You can also see it. It's saying here like customer review.
yeah. Yeah, Amazon's trying to pull those out as like a differentiated, like these are actual customer reviews as opposed to Amazon influencer reviews, but I wouldn't say that the average consumer knows yet which is
Yeah,
which.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay. So you see again customer review, but this is then an influencer here. This
yep,
one.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah. But it is interesting to see that if you have this product and then well, it applies to all products.
Yeah.
What is it that you have to show? And what is it that you have to tell here? And what is it
Yep.
that has to happen in the first seconds of the video? I think that's
Yep.
also is very important. You can learn that from our platform. I think
Yeah.
not just the thumbnail itself, they are responding to the thumbnail,
Mhm.
but based on the insights, most likely, I think you can also make sure that the start of the video is the perfect pitch, like the opening, like here we go, today we're gonna, and then immediately you're gonna highlight the things that you have from the poll insights. It's gonna
Yep.
help you. I'm
Yeah.
100% sure that it will. And there's
Mm.
also something else, by the way, that I want to bring to attention. Many people are thinking about reviews.
Yep.
Reviews, you see them down here. So reviews, of course, they are very important. So for user-generated content, I think this is important. You need to understand the things, the top reviews, what is it that people are saying, and
Yep.
most likely also like the negative ones.
Yep.
But this is all post-sale analysis,
Mhm.
and that's a huge difference. Because
Huh.
if I'm already in the buying journey, so I was looking for the product, whatever reason that I found like I want to buy it, that's my start. I'm
Yep.
searching, then at a certain point I'm buying it.
Yep.
Now, then I have an assumption as a consumer, and I'm buying it, and it ends up in a review.
Mm.
And that is all whole completely part of the story. Like I was looking for something, I bought it, and now I have a review. But if I'm
Yep.
just at the start asking someone, hey, if you're looking for this, what would be important to you? And that's what we do,
Yep.
that's different.
Yep.
It's pre-sale analysis. I
Hmm.
hope it makes sense, but it's a
Yeah.
huge difference.
That does make sense. I hadn't thought about it that way, but it makes perfect sense that, like, at the beginning when I'm thinking through it, I probably have different questions,
Exactly.
different things that I'm looking for than once I have it.
Exactly. And I can give you an example. So again, an example, hope I'm going to do it quicker. But if you look for a stainless steel bottle,
Uh-huh.
so steel uh, bottle, water bottle, whatever. Yeah, here.
Uh-huh.
So here you have a bunch of it. But my wife recently was looking for this type of product for our kids
Yep.
to take it to school. So of course, size matters, the quality matters, everything, the color. But she was looking for a stainless steel water bottle without any plastics in it.
Yep.
Now, all of them are sold with a plastic straw,
Yep.
and she couldn't find it. Now, she purchased at the end, of course, a water bottle with the nice color and the stainless and the best quality that she could find, but it was not the one with the another straw.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I'm buying something, and even if I'm giving a review, I'm gonna give you a review on my expectation. Like, yeah, this is what I purchased because I made it with like my clear mind. I made a
Yeah.
decision, and well, it's exactly what you said it is, or not,
Right.
or not. And I think
Yep.
most likely, if people are giving us a negative feedback on the product, most of the time because the quality is just not good enough, and it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the presentation. Well, maybe you
Mhm.
can be honest up front and say like it's a piece of junk,
Yeah.
but that's not wise to do in a title. So then you end up with negative feedback, and you just have to optimize the product itself.
Yeah.
But you will never learn from reviews that my wife or another one is looking
Right.
for a non-plastic straw.
Mhm. Which is
Not
part
gonna
of,
happen.
like, incorporating that into, like, the UGC creator piece. So, most of us try not to give, like, just straight negative information in those videos, but I do find that constructive feedback works really well in those, right? So, like, for example, if I was looking like your wife was for a stainless steel water bottle without a plastic straw, I might in that video talk about that and be like, this water bottle is exactly what they said it was. I personally was looking for something different, and I would love to find that, but this one for the following reasons are why I, somebody looking for only stainless steel, chose this one over any of the other
Exactly.
options since I can't find the exact thing.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
it. But you
yeah,
have to, of course, speak things that matter to the majority of the
correct.
consumer. Because otherwise, if you're just picking just one element that you find unique but nobody cares,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
yeah,
much. And if I go back to the car, so then again, it's an example from cars. I like to buy a radio, for instance, so like a radio optimization. So I'm the type of guy who like to drive some older cars, so they are not coming with Apple CarPlay. So I just look for that. And all the videos that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of videos, are not telling me, for instance, it's very easy to connect Apple CarPlay with two phones.
Right.
I haven't found it. Another thing is like the GPS navigation. Does it always work flawlessly if it's mounted beneath my dashboard? Because
Yeah.
it's an aftermarket install, so the car is not created for that Apple CarPlay radio. So I'm driving a car from the 1990s. I'm building therein, which is nice, of course, that I can upgrade my dashboard with the Apple CarPlay radio.
Yep.
But is it easy to mount my GPS antenna, and does it still work? Now,
Right.
those kind of things, if it really applies to many more buyers like me for that type of product, then I think that would be a relevant use case for
Yep.
a user-generated content video. It would be
I
helpful to me. Shall we look at the
Let's look
results
at
of
what chat gave us. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, here we have it. Intellivy poll analysis, Yoga Mat purchase insights, the summary of the key poll insights. Maybe it's even easier if you read it because you're much quicker in speaking English than I am. But it is interesting.
Yeah.
You can see it clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see here that the two thumbnail styles stood out as most appealing. So option labeled A and C.
Yep.
And that is true, I think. Label A and
See? Yep.
C. Yeah, that's true. So you can also see that it reads it very clearly from the poll result page that we dropped into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
The participants' approaches to buying a yoga mat. Online research emerged as a dominant approach. I think this is also nice to know that, because that means that if you are investing your time to make a video for this type of product, you indeed know that it's also relevant.
Yeah.
So if nobody cares and they already know upfront, like whatever, I would
Yeah.
never watch a video because I just know I need this and it's fine. I don't care. Then that
Yeah.
product is probably not a good fit for user-generated content videos.
Yeah. That's true.
Then here, people are looking for customer reviews and product comparisons. Now, that's also interesting. Maybe by showing yoga mats, you can make a video around the yoga mat, but why not having 4 yoga mats side by side and do a quick comparison in your
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
Like I'm showing you today, the A versus B versus C. So you're doing your Intellivy approach within your video.
Yeah.
Um,
Which Amazon likes, by the way. When we do this versus that, or we do comparisons for on-site UGC, Amazon likes it.
So there you have it. But then you need to know what should you highlight. And if everybody is screaming like, I want to know if it's non-slip or if it's comfortable enough,
Yeah.
then you have to do something about it. And then the question is, maybe like throwing a kettlebell, boom, on the yoga mat, like, oh, it still sounds pretty hard. Let's test the other one. Then you also have a fun video, but I think that's a different story. Then you're going to do some fun and add some fun to it.
Yep.
Nevertheless, the question is comfort, for instance, and how can you highlight it?
Yep.
Now, what more? See and feel the mat's quality before buying. So see and feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I find interesting, by the way, is that already by reading these results, I can see that it is about user-generated content thumbnails.
Yeah.
If I do the same outcome for a test around products in a marketplace for an Amazon seller, you will see that the report is changing, but it's the same poll type.
Yeah.
It's Intellivy, and it's providing me this because it's all in the context of user-generated content. If you are buying a product, then which video would you like to buy, to click on, that it's most helpful for you to decide to buy it? That's the question that we dropped, and you see that's coming across. Then still, many consumers still value brick and mortar stores. That would also be interesting to do user-generated content video in a store with your Amazon Basic mat. Like, I'm here in a physical store. I know everybody cares about it, but hey, it's not needed to go there because you simply buy it on Amazon. It's amazing. And I'm testing it live now for you here in the store.
Amazon does not love that.
No?
No.
Well, I think if you go to Walmart or whatever, like a physical store, that even Walmart doesn't like it if you enter the store with an Amazon Basic and with
Correct,
video
yeah.
setup.
I for a while, I wanted to do Target comparisons, but Target's all of their brands, like, they have so many white labeled brands that you almost can't do stuff on Amazon with Target stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
But to continue, you see size and thickness. That's number one. That's rated pretty high. Then people are
mhm,
speaking about grip and material quality around 8 to 10%. Color and design. Now, that's of course already obvious from the listing itself. So
yep,
you can question yourself like, is it needed to show the color in a video? I don't know. Eco-friendliness. It's also very important. Now, you have to be creative. Like, what can you tell about eco-friendliness? And I think, for instance, by the way, but I'm not in the world of influencers. I'm not, but I do understand it a bit. And I think my creative mind is also helping me now. If I'm thinking about eco-friendliness, I would probably dive into the world of eco-friendliness. Like what is related to eco-friendliness? And I would combine that. Like in my storytelling, I would tell like, hey, probably eco-friendly is important to you because you think about this, think about that, think about that. So then you have the context. Now, for this product, let's see if it also fits in that, and then you kind of finalize it and you make it
yeah,
nice.
yep,
It's interesting.
yep,
But then the video thumbnail preferences and ranking results, that's what we want to know.
yep,
So clear patterns in what kind of content and imagery attracts consumers. Option A was the most popular first choice. Option C, and then it continues. Thumbnails that looked informative, trustworthy. Yeah, it's such a long list to read, but here
yep,
down you get rhythm explanations, trust and source credibility, clarity and relevance, avoidance of negative messaging, visual appeal, correlations in demographic trends. I mentioned
mm,
that before, like let's do the one with male and female because
yep,
it's interesting to see that part. And then you see gender, both men and women showed similar patterns. Okay, great. So option A is for female and male. That's still not changing that much. Interest level versus choices. Key takeaways.
yep,
Ensure a strong online presence. So the value, convenience, variety, and review. So let's say make sure the yoga mat product has robust online footprint. Yeah, this is about product pages.
yeah,
So you see now it's giving me insights for me as a seller, and then I have to tell you something about ChatGPT as a user. So you and I, as a user of ChatGPT, it's kind of wrapped around me.
right,
So if I'm doing this on daily basis, I'm doing research on products on daily
products,
basis.
yep,
And now you can see that ChatGPT's behavior is already reflecting
yours,
my demand and my use case. So we can continue, and in conclusion, Intel provides a wealth of insights. We can try. What would be a good question to say, like as an influencer?
you could say, as an influencer, I'm trying to optimize my thumbnails to make sure buyers click on my video over another.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So now you see what it's doing, and that's my mistake in the prompt. And you know what I mean, probably. I
Yep,
see already because I'm just saying here, and then ChatGPT is just giving me a random answer. But I have to do differently. I have to say, based on the insights, give me a briefing based on the poll insights. Do not scan the page and CSV again. Do it based on your analysis outcome, whatever. Something like that.
yeah,
I hope it's going to work.
Yep. This is so good, right? Because it's like it's immediately like what you wanna show. You wanna show the yoga mat, you wanna make the texture and thickness obvious, use clean, bright lighting, choose a calm and tidy environment. Like, don't use negative cues or warnings or alarm icons.
Yeah, exactly. Do not use symbols like warning signs. Avoid text that sounds negative or critical. Skip confused or frustrated facial expressions. Yeah, and that's interesting.
Yep.
So, and probably if I go back to the poll, which one is then with a facial expression that people do not like? Do we see a facial expression here? Well, it is coming from the insights,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Then use small readable text like topics, best for beginners. This
Like
is
bullet
from the
points.
insights.
Yep. Yeah,
So
this is from, like, pulling from what people talked
yeah,
about in their, like mhm.
but you see now how ChatGPT is doing it. So if I'm doing this, we both saw it. If I'm doing this
Yep.
chat or this prompt, I'm just getting a general like an explanation like how to do it.
Yep.
But that's not what I want. I want to have it based on the insights that I got
Yep.
so far. So I'd have to change my prompt, and then you get this. Frame your content as useful. Again, yeah, I think this is already pretty amazing. Do you agree?
This video will help you choose the right yoga mat. Love that.
Oh yeah,
It's a solid final tip there. I like that as a takeaway.
I do. I
Yep.
agree. Your thumbnail is your handshake. Give them 1 second. There you have that second. So if you speak about impact poll, there you have
Yep.
it. So if your thumbnail is finalized, you can also do it with an impact poll and just ask like, hey, what is it that you would like to do?
Yep.
There's also something else that you can do, by the way, with Intellivy. By the way, it's very easy to use. So
Mhm.
here you have several poll types. You can
Mhm.
go here for a basic poll. And that this is very straightforward. It's not going to test anything like A versus B. That's not what
Right.
it's about. But here you can create a situation. So this a water bottle, stainless. Here, there it is. Here, to do it again. So funny this. Stainless steel water bottle. There we go.
There we go.
Generate whatever. So you want to
There we
replace your water
Yep.
bottle. So now we have that. You want to replace your old stainless steel water bottle. Then here, what would you like to know before buying this product? Or what more would you like to know? That's the question. And they
Yeah.
see the main names in the title and the price and everything, and even the reviews. If you want, you can say like, you know what? I blur the reviews, I blur the badges, I blur the price. That's possible. Whatever you
Oh,
want. But you can use this
oh,
very simple, and you can see down here that $30, and you already have a simple test to do some market research. And
okay.
as an influencer, you might discover things like, oh, but that's interesting. People seem to be interested in this or that
Yeah.
around this type of product. I'm going to highlight that in my video.
Yep. Interesting. That would be
Hmm.
really good if you were doing, like, a bunch of water bottles or a bunch of stainless steel water bottles, right? Because you can then go in and talk about all of the things that people care about on, like you were saying, pre-purchase. Like, what are they looking for before they buy, as opposed to those written reviews, which are post-purchase?
Yeah, exactly. But how does it work? Because that's something that I don't know. So is an influencer doing it all by themselves? Like, are they just creating videos because they are an influencer, or are they also connected with the brand and doing it together with a brand?
A little bit of both. So there's one piece for the Amazon influencer where you're doing product research and you're out finding products. That's why I designed Fluencer Fruit to be a product research tool for on-site creators, right? So you're picking products based on how many other influencers there are, how many sales it has, if it has that upper carousel, right? Because not every listing has that. So there's that piece. But then there is the brand creator relationship that is involved in some as well, where brands will reach out or like through Wayward, we do some matching between brands and content creators to get that on-site content for the product listings. So it's kind of a both conversation.
Exactly. Because what I'm thinking now is like that if you're collaborating with a brand, you
Yep.
can also help them like, hey, it's interesting to do, like it's a wise thing to do some market research
Yep.
with Intellivy. Because
Yep.
the insights, you can share the link with me, and as an influencer, I can use that data and I can discover what people find important from the same poll. So then it's kind of helping both of them because, well, the seller wants to have the data to optimize the product listing.
Yep.
You want to have it as an influencer to optimize your user generated content, video, etc.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then you line up.
It's such a good call out. Yeah, because you want to be talking about the things in line with what the brand is
Exactly.
also trying to highlight because it just makes the product listing that much more compelling and
Exactly.
authentic.
Exactly. And that brings me to another example. So this week I did a test around a heatless curler set, so a
Uh-huh.
heatless curler kit. And we did a test on images on the marketplace, but
Okay.
then nobody was saying anything about a very unique element of the product that we were testing. So there's one brand that we are testing for,
Yep.
and that is for all hair length. So all type of hairs,
Okay.
all type of hair lengths. But nobody in the products on the marketplace are telling anything about it.
Huh.
But this product is unique on that part. So now you know that, but I have to bring that message across because
Yep.
that's my unique. I'm going to add that. So you will never discover that from the marketplace poll, whatever you do, because nobody is telling you that that unique feature is unique. It's the
Yep.
first time that you're entering the market with that feature.
Yep.
So then you need to kind of understand, like, how am I going to communicate it?
Yeah.
Should I do it on second image? Should I do it on the third? And you have to adapt to the marketplace. You have to
Yep.
understand what people find important buying the type of product, and then you kind of have to figure out where do I add that unique feature.
Yep.
And before you know it, you're just shouting out like this is unique, and nobody cares. So
Yeah.
you need to balance that and understand like how to do it.
And that's a really good use case for Amazon influencers, honestly, right? Is because there are things that we can say as content creators that resonate differently than if a brand says certain things. So the brand can say this is for all hair lengths, but then when the content creator gets a hold of it, they talk about why that matters, right? So this is for all hair lengths. So, whether it's me or my kid or, multiple people can use it. Or if I cut my hair, like what is the actual like outflow of why that matters to your buyers? And that's where like the creators can step in and be like, I can help with that.
Exactly. And then you're
Yeah.
gonna lift that product, and people most likely are gonna check on other products like, does it have the same feature? No, it
Correct.
does not. Oh, then I go for this one. And
Yep.
that's the whole point. And you're probably shifting the market as well, because most
Yep.
likely new competitors will come into the marketplace and gonna do the same thing. Like we have that unique as well. But that's
Yep.
that's how it works.
Yeah. But if
If
you
you're
can
the
hit the
first,
ground running, create the space, rule it, have a lot of that like authentic UGC, kind of like momentum, it'll take them a minute to catch up and knock off.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Peter Paul, thank you so much for joining me and answering all of our questions about process, about how the seller is using this data and how we can incorporate it as content creators. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Me too.